Hey there, my YouTube friends. How you guys doing? So, today's video is just like a great book. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. And so in this video, guys, I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts about the LG G Stylo for Boost Mobile. So, like I said, I'm going to be giving you guys my final thoughts of the LG G Stylo for Boost Mobile. I'm not going to really go too far in depth with all the features because there's tons of videos on YouTube that will show you that already. I'm just going to give you guys my final thoughts since my opinion is accepted in a way. So let's just start off with it, okay? My thoughts, final thoughts about the device. So in the beginning, in the first impressions video, I did mention, like how I felt that this was like not premium built, okay? And people took it in a term that I said, or that I meant it was cheap. And it's far from that. After having the device for a while, I'm still not going to say it's a premium build, but it's not cheap built either. I think what surprised me and what caught me off guard is the fact that it's a 5.7-inch display. So it's a phablet, and compared to the ZTE Max, it's not so top heavy. Okay, it's pretty light, which is a good thing because when you're going to hold this phone alive, it's like your daily driver, as it is my daily driver. You don't want a heavy phone that's just going to make it unbearable to hold after long, extensive periods of time. So, with the lightness and everything, it's actually a plus rather than a negative. But then also too, I haven't tried it, I'm not gonna try it, but if you drop it, I personally can't tell you if it's gonna hold up against drops and things like that. I do have a case for the phone just to keep it protected, but this is a good looking phone that I find myself at times actually using it without a case, and that could also be very bad. If it doesn't hold up to falls and things like that, I could wind up breaking my daily driver. But like I said, build quality, it's great. It's a great build. I love the button placements. That's another thing that I love about this device. Didn't take very long to get myself used to it actually. And like how they say, your finger kind of rests back here. It does, and I can feel the power button. I can feel the volume button. So, yeah, it's awesome. For me, it is. Okay. Also, the shortcuts with the volume button. So, like if you long press the volume down while the screen is off, it will activate camera. Now, that feature is a little buggy because I'll demo right now. I'm gonna hold it down, and it doesn't launch the camera like completely quick. It has like a little delay, like a 1.5 to 3 second delay. And then the camera will be on. But as you guys can see, the camera is actually pretty neat. And the volume button acts as a shutter button. So, that's actually pretty cool. If you hold the volume up button, it activates notes. And that's pretty neat if you want to jot down a quick note. So, and along with the stylus, it's just basically great just for jotting down notes or whatever. You can draw, scribble. You can do lots of editing and stuff on here, so it always works great. And even if you activate those things, when you back out of them, you still gotta get into your phone. If you have a lock, like a pin or just some sort of security lock, you won't bypass it. Even just by going into those apps, you still gotta go back to that lock screen and get it. So that's another cool thing. Smart lock on this device is actually pretty cool. It allows me to basically keep like a pin or a pattern type security lock, but if I have like my Pebble smartwatch paired with the device, I can get in without having to enter those pins or those pattern sequences, only because it my smartwatch is a trusted device, so therefore it's not going to bring up any security measures. Yes, it is like a downfall because, if someone gets your phone and your smartwatch, they'll be able to just get in without a PIN. But, there's always a good and bad to everything. But for me, I find it to be great because if I leave my phone, like say upstairs, my room, and I'm like downstairs with my watch, say I walk outside, someone goes in my room and tries to get at my phone, they can't. The PIN thing will come up. But once I come back and grab my phone, swipe, it'll unlock. So smart lock feature kind of helps out. Now, one thing that kind of gets on my nerves a little bit, I'll be honest with you guys, is the constant comparison between this and its fraternal twin that's on T-Mobile and Metro. I get this a lot in comments. People are saying that it sucks, yada yada yada. Okay, yeah, Metro and T-Mobile got a higher spec version of this phone, which for me it's kind of like a frown when it comes to LG. Build a device and build it the same all across. I mean, usually that's what they do, and that's usually how they do it. But they just kind of give them like different names. So let's say the Galaxy Light on Metro PCS is the Galaxy Prevail LTE on Boost Mobile. Same phone, just named differently, spec the same. I think that's pretty cool. I hate when companies do when they kind of give more higher specs to a device that goes to one carrier than to the other one. And the G Stylo is not the first time this has happened. As a matter of fact, the Hydro Icon and the Hydro Life, it's happened there. The Icon had a higher spec camera, a little bit better specs than the Hydro Life, and it had actual LTE connectivity, whereas the Hydro Life on Metro PCS didn't. So I guess you can say this is kind of like for those people who wanted the Hydro Life because the Hydro Icon had higher specs. I guess they got their revenge because they got the better one and Boost Mobile got the weaker one. However, let me just pretty much plant my foot down and say this to a lot of people who comment about Boost Mobile one sucks. Okay, it may not be spec'd as the T-Mobile one, but where I live, Metro PCS sucks where I live. I'm going to put that out there right now. It does, it's crappy, barely can get 2 bars where I live, so why would I even want to trade this for the higher spec version if I'm going to have a very crappy experience with it connecting to the network? I mean, I can't run the device on Wi-Fi all the time. Yeah, and for what this device can do, even though it only has 8 gigs of internal storage and 1 gig of RAM, it actually still kicks butt when it comes to what it's supposed to do, which is your smartphone. Get into apps, use maps, play music, play media. It does it very well, so I'm not going to complain about all that stuff. And it has expandable memory, so what else? I mean, it's not like I'm downloading 150 movies that are 4 gigs each movie that I need on here, so it's not a big deal. So let's just pump the brakes and relax about that. Some downside to it, basically, and some people may have noticed this too, is the notification on here. Terrible. Okay, sometimes Hangouts doesn't even notify me that someone hit me up on Hangouts. As a matter of fact, with the Hangouts situation is so bad that I actually use LG's default text messaging application to get text messages, because if I used Hangouts, I wouldn't be notified of a text message. I would have to, go into the app and see that, oh, look, at, 2 hours ago, someone texted me and it didn't notify me. That is a big, big problem. Hopefully LG is going to fix it, with a minor update or whatever, which means I would actually have to unroot my phone because my phone is rooted. So, yeah, that's one thing I really frown upon. Audio quality on this phone, badass, okay? I really can't complain about it, I can hear people on phone calls, they can hear me, so not a big issue. Hearing the sound through the speaker is actually pretty cool. Now, for certain apps, the rear speaker can be muddled for certain apps and then actually be loud for others. So like playing music with Google Play Music, it's okay. You can hear the music just fine. It's not loud like it would be like on the ZTE Max, but you can hear it. Now on YouTube it gets louder, but then sometimes videos that are loud get distorted, so it's not the best quality of everything else. Basically, with this phone, I do enjoy it. Would I say it's the best budget phone of 2015? No. In order for a phone, in my opinion, to be the best budget smartphone for 2015, it's got to blow all its competitors out the water. And the ZTE Warp Sync was, in my opinion, holds up to this phone. So yeah, if anything can hold up to it, it's not considered the best. But do I enjoy the phone? Heck yeah, I do. I love this phone. It does what I wanted to do. That stylus makes it very, very awesome to, jot down notes and things like that. I can't complain about that. That's like, it does what I needed to do. And that's all that people are looking for, is if the phone does what they needed to do. Light, easy to use, easy to manage. Got that stylus for help, with certain applications, and it just works. So where have you heard that before? So anyways, guys, that's pretty much like my final thoughts on this. If I have to actually rate this with any other smartphone that I've had, this one gets an 8.5 out of 10. That's its final score. I'm not going to do any more reviews about it, unless it gets like Android M update, then yeah, maybe I'll do a review about that. I will, however, continue to compare it against other smartphones that I have. Haven't been putting up a lot of them because I don't want to over cram you guys with them. I want to give those videos some time to circulate with people before I compare it to another one. And yes, the next phone I will do a comparison with this phone is the Moto E 2015. So both phones run Lollipop, so it's going to get interesting. I'll probably do that for Friday's video. Leave a comment if you guys have anything else you guys want to add or ask. Thumbs up if you guys enjoyed. It's like early in the morning, so that's why I'm like kind of being loud but quiet. It's like 5 in the morning. And yeah, share this on social network, Google+, Facebook, Twitter, and follow me on those places. Links in the description. And yeah, that's it. Bye.